Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Sorry I could not be with you today, but I hope you use the class period and the time you have to really help increase your understanding of writing our systems, solving our systems, applying them in real life situations. I brought up the idea with one of my classes about me doing a little video walkthrough on a couple of the problems, and they said that that would be helpful, so that's what we're doing here. So this is the third worksheet, and you can see in this first scenario, Max needs a new cell phone, and he's trying to decide between two companies. Terry's telephone has a higher operating fee per month, but charges less per minute, and Carrie's connection has the lower operating fee, but charges more per minute. And the first question is, when is Terry's phone a better option if you are only concerned with paying the least amount of money for your phone plan? All right, so here's the thing. This problem does not tell you to write a system. It does not define for you the variables. It asks a question, and you have to be able to understand that for us to mathematically compare these two options, we have to create a system to do so. So to answer this question, we're going to have multiple pieces to this. The first piece is we've got to write a system, which means we have to be able to know what our variables are going to be. Well, what we can look at here when we think about a phone plan, clearly money is going to be one of our variables, and what causes us to money is the number of minutes, right? And we can see in our rate of change here, the charge, right? We talked about rate of change is dependent over independent, and minutes is my independent, right? We can clearly see that there is a causation relationship there. The more minutes you use your phone, the more money it's going to cost you. So X is going to be our number of minutes that we use for our phone, and Y is going to be our cost in dollars. All right, so now I've got two options here. I've got Terry's telephone and I've got Carrie's connection. So I'm just going to call that TT and CC here. What I need to do, we know that because we're using an independent-dependent situation, we want to use slope-intercept form. So I need to know what is my slope and what is my y-intercept, and for both of these situations here, right? So if we look at Terry's telephone, it's 14 cents, $0.14 in charge per minute. Well, that's a rate of change right there. And Carrie's connection is 0.39. So that was pretty easy to recognize my slope, my rate of change. Now, again, what is my y-intercept is essentially saying if x is 0, what's y? So if I have 0 minutes, if I do not use my phone, if Max does not use his phone at all, how much will each telephone company cost? Well, that's really just the operating fee. So for Terry's, it's going to cost him $29.95 if he never uses his phone. With Carrie's connection, it's going to cost him only $4.95. Right? Hopefully we can see at this point that initially Carrie's connection is going to cost less money because of that operating fee. But if you use your phone for enough minutes, the fact that Terry's has a lower rate of change, a lower charge per minute, that savings each minute will eventually catch up and make Terry's the better option. The real question that we're trying to answer here is, excuse me, where does that change occur? When does Terry's telephone go from being more expensive than Carrie's connection to being less expensive? So let's write our systems here. So for Terry's, it's going to be y equals 0.14x plus 29.95. And for Carrie's, it's going to be 0.39x plus 4.95. So it's great that we've written this system, but if you notice, it doesn't tell you the directions aren't right. The system says, when is it going to be better? So what we actually have to do to make that determination is we have to know that find the point where the relationship changes. In other words, we need to find when are these two plans the same. To know which one is better, we have to know when they're going to be the same. So essentially what this is asking us to do is to solve the system, right? So when you're paying the least amount of money, essentially this is telling us we need to write and solve our system here. Now I'm going to use substitution. So if I solve this system here, I'm going to end up with 0.14x plus 29.95 equals 0.39x plus 4.95. subtract to get my x's on the same side. That will give me 0.25, right? If I subtract 0.14, subtract this, the constant 4.95 on both sides, and then divide both sides by 0.25, and I will get x equals 100. So what that's telling me is that 100 minutes, right, because that's minutes, the plans will be exactly the same. And what we had determined is that initially Carrie's connection will be cheaper. So that means if we're going to use our phone for less than 100 minutes, Carrie's is a better option. If we're going to use it for more than 100 minutes, Terry's is a better option. So when we are using our phone for more than 100 minutes, TT is better. Now notice I didn't solve for y here because the question doesn't ask me for an amount of money. It's only asking me when is that amount of money less for Terry's telephone than for Carrie's. All right, so B asks us which plan costs more for 150 minutes of calls. Well, if we're being given 150 minutes, that's essentially telling us X equals, and we're being asked which plan costs more, so they're asking us to find Y. Again, we have to interpret this question. So we have two equations up here, one for each company. Let's just substitute X, 150 in for X, and then figure out what Y is going to be. So for the one company, it's, oops, not X, I apologize. We know what X is. I don't need to use the variable X. 0.14 times 150 plus 29.95, and the other option is 0.39 times 150 plus 4.95. So now if we take this and we put this in our calculators and we simplify this, 0.14 times 150, sorry, I actually need to do the math, I don't know it off the top of my head, times 150 plus 29.90, sorry, hit some wrong buttons in my calculator, apologize for the delay, equals plus 29.95. So I will get 50.9, it will cost me $50.95 for 150 minutes of calls with Terry's, right? And for the same thing, 0.39 times 150 plus 4.95, it's going to cost me $63.45. So which plan costs more? Clearly, Carrie's connection is going to cost more for 150 minutes. So the next question asks you which plan provides more minutes. So now we've reversed the rules. Now we're looking for minutes, and they give us the cost. So we're going to do the same exact thing we just did above, except we're just going to flip the script, and instead of substituting for X and finding Y, we're going to substitute for Y and find X. So Y, so if 60, so 0.14x plus 29.95, and 60 equals 0.39, nope, not 150, sorry, getting my problems mixed up there, X plus 4.95. All right, so now we just got to solve. I'm going to subtract 29.95 from both sides, and then divide by 0.14. And here I get 214.64 minutes. And on the other side, 60 minus 4.95 divided by 0.39, I only get 141.15 minutes. So clearly, Terry's phone plan here for $60 is going to give you far more minutes than Carrie's connection is going to give you. All right, the last question here takes us really outside the realm of math and just asks you to put yourself in a consumer's shoes, and which of these would actually give you a better deal monetarily. Well, we can decide that, but there's more to just buying a phone or buying a phone plan that would be about money. All right, service matters. Do you get any free stuff when you sign up? That matters. So there could be a lot of different answers here, but your service quality would be in service quality, right? Free stuff. Do you get a free phone? Do you get some sort of discounts, right? Do you get things like that there? And honestly, guys, you probably can come up with more ideas, so et cetera, beyond that. So there are going to be times where we ask you questions about a real life situation that really don't have as much to do with math, but about you just problem solving and putting yourself in that situation and trying to role play and figure out, well, why would you make this choice? Why would you choose a more expensive option? What other variables are there in real life that are not accounted for in the math that we're doing? All right, so let's take a quick look at number 2, because number 2 is a little bit different. So in this, you're trying to decide which 2 movie rental plans you want to decide, and you are asked which plan would be the cheapest option. So again, we're trying to decide between 2 things. We need to write an equation, a system for them. Now, what we're trying to decide if the cheapest option is how many video rentals we have, right? And what's the cost? That is, again, number of rentals, and Y is going to be the cost of renting those movies. That's, again, an independent-dependent relationship. So I want to write a system here. So the regular plan, and I have the preferred plan. So in the regular plan, you can see my rate of change is $3.25, and there is no fee to sign up. So if I rent 0 videos with the regular plan, I will pay $0. But with the preferred plan, oops, I'm sorry, I'm getting myself mixed up there. That is not the rate of change. The rate of change is only $2. My cost is only $2 per video, but if I rent 0 videos, I still have to pay $8.75. So now that I've arranged these, I know I want slope-intercept form because of the independent-dependent relationship. My regular equation is just going to be my cost is equal to $3.25 times the number of rentals, X. But for my preferred plan, it's going to be Y equals 2X plus that $8.75. All right, now at this point, the rest of this problem is pretty much the same. Solve it, find when they are the same, and we can see that the regular plan will be cheaper initially, right? At 0 videos, it costs less, but eventually this lower rate of change, this lower cost per video, that savings every time you rent a video would cause the preferred plan to become the better deal. But the question is when? When will the preferred plan go from being more expensive to less expensive? And to answer that, we still need to solve this system. So I'm going to once again use substitution here. So we get this, subtract 2x from both sides. I get 1.25x equals 8.75, divide by 1.25 on both sides, and we are going to get x equals 7. So at 7 rentals, they are the same. So that means from rentals 1 through 6, the regular is better. 7, they're the same. So more than 7 rentals is when, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't answer the question correctly. When is the regular plan? And so this is a good example, guys. Make sure you read what the question is asking for. I thought it was asking for when is the preferred plan better. It's when is the regular plan better, right? So less than 7 rentals is when the regular plan is better. All right, so the rest of these kind of ask very similar questions to what we did above. I won't extend this video any further. Hopefully this helps. You can fast forward, you know, watch whatever you want to this video. Don't watch it at all. It's up to you. Please work on this. Please, guys, come tomorrow. Come to class tomorrow with specific questions. Ready to dive in and have a good discussion about this, because your test is going to be on Monday. We talked about that. It definitely will be on Monday. So we want to get going on that. All right. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.